Hey, my name is David Choi. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. I've been on YouTube since the very beginning. I've been in the music industry for about 15 years. You may have seen some of my videos, That Girl by My Side, and more recently, BGA, which is a parody K-pop group. So when I was younger, I told my parents that I was going to go to Harvard. I told them I was going to be a doctor and a lawyer, and I achieved none of those. So as any good Korean kid, I grew up playing violin and piano, forced to play, absolutely hated it. At the age of 16 in high school, this kid brought in a CD of music that he created, and he told the teacher, he's like, I made this. And something clicked in my head, and I was thinking, wow, I didn't know you could create music. So I went home that night, and I had a keyboard lying around, kind of like this, and I composed my first instrumental piece. When I was a senior in high school, I entered a bunch of contests online to see if I was good enough to actually pursue this industry. One of the major contests that I submitted was the David Bowie mashup contest, where I took two of David Bowie's songs, Shake It and She'll Drive a Big Car. I mashed it together into this thing that I called Big Shaken Car, and eventually David Bowie himself chose the winner, which is my remix, and I won an Audi TT. But at the time I already had a car, so I took the cash instead and I invested into some of the equipment that you see behind me here. So the second contest that I won was the John Lennon Songwriting Contest for Teens, which was a lyric contest. So as a result of winning these two big contests, it really gave me the confidence to pursue this industry full-time. I remember at a certain point early in my career, going on the internet and typing Asian musicians in America, and only two artists came up, Corinne May and Ken Oak. That really surprised me, that there weren't very many Asian Americans working in the music industry, but that didn't stop me. In fact, it really inspired me to pursue this even more, because there weren't enough Asian Americans in the industry. So I submitted my music to a workshop, and I was selected out of thousands of submissions. They selected 15 people. At the end of the workshop, the publisher asked me if I can come into the office and play some music for her. So I went to the office, I played some songs, and at that moment she was like, David, I want to sign you. And that was the most amazing moment in my life, because at that point it gave me an opportunity to become a professional paid songwriter-producer. I stumbled upon a website called YouTube. It was very new at the time, only a year old, and I was bored. I wrote a song called YouTube, a love song, and I posted it on YouTube not thinking anything was going to happen. Next thing you know, it got featured on the homepage, and at that time it was really important because there were only 4 or 5 videos on the homepage, so it was prominently displayed right there for everyone to see. I woke up to a text message saying, David, you're on the homepage of YouTube. And that freaked me out because I was a really shy person. I didn't expect anything to happen from that video. At the end of the second year at Warner Chappell, I was going to renew my contract, and I went to different publishing companies to get signed as a songwriter. But it was a little difficult because at that time, iTunes emerged, digital music emerged, music labels were crumbling, people were getting fired left and right. They weren't used to this digital era. It was already a year that I was uploading content and building an audience, and I was like, maybe I should just release an album. Everyone has been asking me for a year, so I decided to do that, and that was my very first album, Only You. I was really surprised that people actually bought my album, and I was thinking to myself, I could probably do this again. So I spent the next 6 months writing and recording my second album, By My Side, which is an album that's my most popular to this day. So a question that I get often is, how did your parents feel about you working in the music industry? And they didn't disapprove, but they also kind of didn't know what I was doing because it was so new at the time. Some kid at their church walked up to him and said, hey, I really love your son's videos. And this was 2 years into YouTube. And they found out that I had a YouTube channel and I had a bunch of views, and they started watching my videos ever since. After I started making videos on YouTube, I was in the Korean newspaper, 중앙일보, and that's when I finally got 100% support from my parents. The article stated something to the degree of David, YouTube star, really famous on the platform, something like that. And it was really funny because I've achieved a lot more prior to the article, but that was basically what sealed the deal for my parents. Throughout my music career, I didn't really have any mentors, so I had to learn how to do everything on my own. I worked really hard to become educated about how the business works, how music works, how production. If I can go back in time and give my younger self some advice, I would say, David, find a mentor that will really be a mentor to you. I think anyone can achieve whatever they want as long as they're passionate about it and they put in the work. You know, anyone can dream, but putting it into action, that's really what sets people apart. I think one of the biggest accomplishments in my life is the fact that I was able to create music for a living and play in front of thousands of people around the world. I'm a Netkal 7 fellow, and one of the things that I really love about Netkal is, most importantly, the friendships that I've made with people who I'm still friends with to this day, and just the network of amazing people doing amazing things. My name is David Choi, Netkal 7. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.